game ready, steady aim at the target. I'm flooding the market, a break from the garbage. An artist, sensitive about mind pardon. No margin for error, flawless be bearer. The black cat goddess, you walking with a panther. Painting these pictures with words like...
Hey, it's your girl, Madam Money, aka Trap, and welcome to the official Salt in the Game album review of Kay Slay's Homage. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let's get it. Now, this is Kay Slay's second release of the year. He dropped Living Legend earlier this year. I ain't even gonna hold you. I was not ready for this drop. Now, the intro starts off with, Kay Slay, making a disclaimer that, everything evolves, everything changes, but it also has to go back to its original state. So he is really on here standing against like the revisionist type of hip hop that is going on today, and he's trying to give it back. So, once you... It's crazy because DJ Kay Slay, infamous DJ, whatever. So when I heard Homage, I didn't know if he was going to play on the production of like taking like past works or other people's beats and stuff like that and doing something new or anything with it. I didn't really know what to expect with this, but I'm so happy he did what he did here as we go through this. Now, like I said, the intro is an intro. Then the track number 2, Rolling 50 Deep. Now, I ain't even gonna hold you. I was not anticipating this to go on like this. So, like, usually I tell y'all, like, I look through the track listing, I look through all of this stuff like that. There's no way they could have put the track listing of this particular track out like how it was. So, I pressed play on it. I'm letting the album rock out. Rolling 50 Deep come on. It starts off with Sheik Luke. I'm like, okay, this is dope. I always love when Sheik starts a song off. You feel me? He's one of the best in the game with that. We always say like, who's the best closer on tracks, the best opener? Sometimes like it's Sheik. So let's get it right. And then Styles P came on. I'm like, okay. And then I heard Benny the Butcher, and I'm like, okay, what's going on here now? I'm figuring that the track is going to come to a close soon, even though like everybody is spitting just a couple bars, maybe like 6 to 8 bars, and like the 3 of them. And then I heard Bun B come on, and I'm like, wait, what's going on here? So I looked down at my phone, you feel me, and realized this track is 17 minutes long. By no means seeing the fucking title of the track, Rolling 50 Deep, did I think that Kay Slay was going to have 50 niggas on this motherfucking track. 50 niggas. So, hey, yo. Sheik Luge, Ghostface Killer, Royce the 5'9", Cassidy, Raekwon, fucking Twista, E40, Ice-T, Saigon, Uncle Murder, Lil Flame, John Connor, Bino, like, Dave East, Billy Zane, damn, Stan Spit is on here, Trick, Memphis Bleak, fucking Sauce Money, DJ Paul, Mano, Mr. Fab, AZ, Ransom, Loaded Lux, Papoose, Locksmith, Terminology, Terminology, dog, Young Noble, EDI, Rock Ness, Trader Truth, Melly Mel, Joa Ortiz, Shooter, Vado, My Son, Grandmaster Cash, Fred the Godson, R.I.P., fucking Corey Guns, Ayo. Now, this is what I want y'all to do for me right here, right? I need y'all to do 2 things for me when it comes down to this. I want y'all to tell me who used their little piece of this 17-minute track the best out of all these 50 artists. And I also want you to try to tell me the order that they spit in. Now, this is a huge task. I don't think ever in hip-hop we have seen, like, this ain't even a real mix or like a remix. Like, there's no room for a remix for this at all. This is just straight up like 17 minutes and 24 seconds of 50 well-known niggas rapping. Also on here, shout out to 3D Natty. She's the only female voice on here. I thought that was pretty cool just to make sure that they covered all their bases. Like Nino Man is on here, RJ Payne is on here. Like, I need y'all to tell me the track order, and I needed to hear who y'all think ripped their little portion of this, because this is out of control. Like, yo, give me, break everything up, rolling 50 deep, because I'm gonna tell you, some of these niggas on here, we could start counting down a little bit. Like, we could start going off a little bit and be like, rolling 49 deep, rolling 48 deep, rolling 47 deep, but most of the artists on here actually did their thing and put their stamp on everything that was going on here. So I want y'all to tell me how y'all feel about this and who just absolutely murdered this track. All right, so moving right along, right? The next track on here, It's About to Go Down. That's Ghostface Killer, Busta Rhymes. He's coming off of ELE2 and the legend Junior Reed. And it's crazy because when I seen Junior Reed's name, like legendary reggae artists and stuff like that, the only thing that I could think about was him and Sham on Mims' This Is Why I'm Hot remix. And I was like, you know what? Out of all the tracks that he had, all the fire that he's put out, this is what I resulted to think about Junior Reed. And I apologize, but this track right here is hard. This is one of the community conscious tracks. The whole album has this community conscious thing going on here, except for a couple of spots, and I'm going to get into that a little bit as we go along on here. The next track is Where Is the Love? Conway and Conway kicks this off. Very descriptive bars, hood bars, you feel me? He never disappoints on anything. He kind of like breezed in and out of this. I do like the hook, and I do want to point out, like, if you haven't said you staying out the way in the last like year or two, respectively, like what she's saying on this track, you're not a real nigga, because all the real niggas are trying to stay out the way right now, and I'm gonna just let that be known. So far so good on the album. I swear to God, I had no anticipation that this was gonna be this long. Looking at the track listing, next track on here, Man Down, Juicy J, Jim Jones, Fresh L, Bun B, Pesh Mayweather, and this beat is crazy. Now this is the track right here where I said, okay, the production is paying homage, and the content is what's bringing it up to speed. So when DJ K Slay says in the beginning, like, he wants to take it back, he's pulling the content up to date, but that sound from, what we know and love about hip-hop is carried all the way through, because I was starting to think that it was sounding dated, but that's, like, production-wise, but that's the point here. It's called Homage for that reason and that reason alone. So, and I also started to think on this track, even though this is like a more down south sound coming from K Slay on here, because Bun B, Juicy J on here, even though they have Jim Jones and Fresher on here as well, but the sound is giving me south vibe on here. I was like, if we had chose during that time period to remain like more like impactful and meaningful with some of the content that's going on here, like the things that we're speaking out about now, like police brutality, all of this stuff that's really been around since day one for all of us, we could have been much more progressive and productive by this point in hip-hop and in like the hood period. So I really did appreciate what was going on here. Man Down is one of those tracks that made me think about a couple of things, reflecting back on the time period of hip-hop that he's trying to highlight on this album, as opposed to the lyrics and stuff that's going on now than the lyrics that was going on then. So I see exactly what was going on here. The next track on here, Ramadan, that's a play on K Slay. He had a mixtape called Ramadan. He does freestyles up at Shade 45 like once a month. I believe there's a Ride or Die freestyle ciphers. This had Joel Ortiz on here, who's coming off of Hard, who's also one of the 50 people on this track list, I think. Look, now I don't even know. Papoose is on here. He's coming off of Endangered Species. Also, Ransom is on here, coming off of Director's Scenes Cuts 1 through 3, and also deleted scenes that he just dropped, and I thought this was a nice little vibe. Then we get into a track, We Get Busy. That's AZ, Ghostface, Bun B, Papoose, Traded to Truth, Benny the Butcher. And again, like, it's one of these things that, like, this is just like, hip hop from a time period that we all enjoyed and we all appreciated, and we somehow lost it or let it go when it came down to us, content wise and production wise. We kind of let it go to the wayside, but just like he said in the beginning, everything comes back 360. You see it's happening right now, that everybody has their time to shine, but it's all coming back, like all coming back to that real purest state of hip-hop. The next track on here, Lose Control, that's like a domestic violence track. Has a Mama Just Killed a Man sample by Queen on there. And like I said, it's just speaking to conditions that happen in the community, something that needs to be spoken out about, and you don't really hear that anymore. Like, the last time, like, we might have heard a domestic violence track, probably was Eve's Love Is Blind, where it came from somebody like that, even though, artists like Eminem and stuff like that always speak about it from the other end, of being the, one imposing the violence on there. I thought this was just a pretty cool thing, because the female in this situation, she is the one that popped off. So I really did appreciate that. The last track on here, he said it was for the ladies, Street Life, featuring Vado, Dave East. That's, Dave East Lane. It was nice to see him alongside Vado on this track. Yo, but I was like, I needed more of the album, because half of the album is rolling 50 deep. Like, you feel me? This is like one of the craziest tracks in hip hop, period. Like, we've always had mixtape mashups and blends, and people taking people's verses and extending tracks and doing all that stuff, but nothing as extensive as what is going on Rolling 50 Deep. So, you feel me? Let me know how you feel about the project in general. Let me know who killed Rolling 50 Deep. Let me know who didn't kill 50 Deep. You feel me? And how you feel about a track like that. And let me know how you feel about what K Slay is trying to do overall on this album. But I'm about to get out of here. My fucking review ain't as long as the track Rolling 50 Deep. This shit is this is crazy. Like, yo, the only thing longer than this is like Mook's third. Like, you feel me? But I'm Mad Money. You can follow me on Twitter and on IG at Mad Money Says. It's MADAMMONEYSAYS. You feel me? Hit me up. Make sure you click like. Make sure you hit subscribe. Make sure you comment below, and I'll be seeing you guys now, as always.
Talking about Kundalini, this the glow up. The beast back, floodgates, she unleashed that. He's back, you don't know where my peeps at. I keep that heat that'll light your soul up. Talking about Kundalini, this the glow up.
This is opulence.
Focused and competent, equipped to hold my own on any continent. More sauce than content.